If you want to hit your goals, you need to act with intent, but also feel like you're rushed to do it as well, okay? Before I actually talk about all this type of stuff, let me just show you the view, right? I come out here every single weekend at the end of the week to sort of reflect. But anyways, I go straight into sort of what I was saying. You need to be in the position where you feel rushed to actually hit your goals. And the reason why I say this is, just a little context, what I do for a living is I help scale brands. Okay, I basically help them with ads, run the back end, and basically scale their brand to the next level. And sort of what I realized after working with over 150 clothing brands is the brand owners that succeed and the entrepreneurs that succeed and the people around me that succeed, they do shit very, very fast. And I'm not saying they just do it and just rush and just don't give a fuck. No, I'm saying they actually have intent on what they're doing and they get shit done very, very fast. So for example, right, I'll actually give you an example, okay? Now, we onboarded two different types of clients, okay? We onboarded, let's just call them, I'm not going to call names, let's just call them brand owner 1, brand owner 2. Brand owner 1, right, we had a meeting where we actually talked about specific creative assets that we needed to actually improve the ad account, right? Again, doesn't need a studio shoot, just with an iPhone, a different flat lay, right? It took about 3 weeks to actually get that flat lay, right? And then we have brand owner 2, same situation where it wasn't specifically a flat lay, but it was more towards a lifestyle picture. So they actually had to get a model and they had to sort of get the background right as well and the lighting right, because that's one of the creatives that we were actually working on. Now, brand owner 1 took 2 to 3 weeks to actually take our flat lay and provide that to us to actually run the ads. And brand owner 2 did that, I think, gave our creatives around in 3 to 4 days, right? Again, brand aside, product side, just brand owner 2 just moves faster. And quite frankly, guess what? Guess who's making more money? Right? Brand owner 2, right? Who got the credits fast. And that's one trait I've realized across all my successful brand owners, all the other business owners that I personally know, they just move so fucking fast compared to the rest. Now, for the people watching this, what does that actually mean for you? And I'm not saying you gotta move fast, and I'm not saying, I'm not even gonna say anything. You don't even have to listen to me, right? You don't even have to listen to this fucking guy, right? This Asian guy talking in front of the screen, right? But the one thing that I really want you to understand is get shit done fast as you can and move with intent, clarity, and most importantly, feel like you have to do it, because even when I hop on calls, it's like people think they just got so much time to do this, XYZ, or whatever it is, right? Like the brand owners that never succeed, they just never get to it because they didn't have time, they make this excuse, whatever it is. Like, if you really want to get to your goals, right, whatever it is, lose fucking 50 pounds, grow a fucking business, scale a clothing brand, right, it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of work and sacrifice. So when a brand owner comes to me saying, I might not have time to scale my brand, or I'm stuck at this stage of the brand because I haven't put too much time into it. Like, what does that tell you, right? What about the other brand owners? Do you think they had all the time in the world? Yeah, of course they had obligations. Of course they had school. Of course they had work, right? But the only difference between you, where you don't have time to put in the work, that's why you're in the same situation, compared to the brand owner that actually found the time, right? Sacrificed, right? Because quite frankly, it's like I said, it's gonna take time. I'm not saying you're gonna get to your fucking goals in like a month and just breeze it through, right? You're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of things to get there. And one of them, unfortunately, is time. Like, even with me, right? It's like how I sort of think about it and sort of approach it is, when I have a task, for example, one of my team told me to get this shit done, just fucking get it done, right? Even if it's a fucking hassle, you gotta move it done, right? Just get it done fast as you humanly possibly can. And again, I'm not a very good role model for this example, but I don't like to plan shit at all. I just fucking do it and sort of see how it goes and just learn through experience. And I can tell you a very interesting story. So for the first time, I think this was 2 years ago, when I first started my business. Actually, that was a lie. It's 3 years ago. But anyways, 2 years ago, I went snowboarding for the first time, okay? I went with a mate. my mate knows how to snowboard, right? We were gonna go up there. He's gonna teach me everything, right? But so this was in South Korea, and you needed like a key to sort of enter, the gate or the mountains or fucking whatever, right? And I forgot that. So he was already ahead, right? I was like, fuck it, I'll just quickly get it. And I didn't know where he was. So I was down there by myself while he's probably at the top wondering what the fuck. And he's probably went down already, right? Because I don't know where I put my keys. But anyways, I got back, okay? And I went back up by myself. Obviously, I've never snowboarded in my life. That my friend, right? I'm not going to mention his name, but friend was going to teach me. And I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to fucking do it and learn it through experience, right? And, okay, it didn't turn out very well, right? I didn't know how to stop. So I literally spent like the whole day just coming down slowly and slowly across that, because it wasn't like a beginner mountain, like a slope. It was really steep, right? But anyways, the reason why I'm telling you this, because that is my mentality to every single thing I do, right? If it's a new ad account, if it's a new fucking, a brand that I'm working on, if it's a new job I have to do, a task I need to do, like, fuck planning, right? If I feel as though, first of all, something I need to do ASAP that's going to help me get to my goal, or get at least minimally close to my goal, just fucking do it, right? I'm saying this as well as, like, for example, I've invested over $55,000, by the age of 20 in courses, mentorship programs, right? Didn't really think much of it, right? I spent $16,000 2 months ago, right, to learn more about ads for my clients, right? Didn't think much of it, because you know what? Might be a downside of my trait or my personality, but I was like, will it get closer to my goal? Yes or no? Yes, fuck it. Because $16,000 to get to where I'm personally going, it's not going to be shit, right? So that's how my brain processes things. And I'm not saying you should think like me, because I am pretty dumb, okay? There are much more smarter human beings than I am. But what I realize is most successful brand owners think very similarly to me, right? I'm not saying, be dumb and fucking don't plan everything and just give shit a go and just kill yourself. No. I'm saying move with speed, okay? Everything you do, every task you have to do. For example, you have a lot of to-do lists. For example, film this content. For example, if you're a clothing brand owner, film this content. You gotta ship this order out. Just move like a fucking machine. Move like there is no tomorrow. Move like it's due in 30 minutes. Right? Just move with speed, and I can guarantee you're gonna just be so much far ahead if you just have that mentality by the end of 2026. And another interesting one, right? It's, I'm not going to mention his name again, right? So we actually hopped on a call. He was actually interested in one of my agency services. I think this was like 1.5 years ago now, where I used to work with everybody. Now I don't, okay? We used to work with everybody, right? And he was on the fence of thinking about working with us, okay? And again, he's a great guy. I'm not shitting on him, but I'm just using him as an example, okay? This was 1.5 years ago. He hit me back up on my personal number, said, I want to work with you, right? First of all, we hopped in a Google Meet again, see where he was at. He was in the exact fucking same situation as his brand was since 1.5 years ago, right? He was on the fence about working with us, will this work for him, will this do this? 1.5 years goes by, and he's in the exact fucking same situation. Again, I'm not shitting on him. He's a great fucking human, and he's my client now. But what does that tell you? What could have possibly gone wrong, right? 1.5 years ago, if you just work with us. Okay. Well, what could have possibly gone wrong? Would this have gotten closer to his brand's goal or not? Yes or no? Fucking do it then. Right? I'm not being a dickhead, right? And I'm saying this, and I can back it up. Alright, if I haven't invested into myself, if I haven't invested into any service in my life before, obviously I'm just talking shit on my ass, but again, I've been in that guy's situation. I've seen people do this shit, right? You just gotta take that foot forward. We're in a situation where it's just like, you just gotta do it, right? And quite frankly, everything that's actually gonna get close to your goal is going to be uncomfortable, right? But the hard thing is, every decision that we made is the reason why we're here today, is the reason why I'm sitting in this car talking to you, because of every decision that I made. So it's hard. Of course, for example, right, if you want to scale to 100K a month with your business, right, and you need to make a big decision, if you're going to do this or do not, right, you need to think about, right? Will you, that's making 100K a month, make that decision? If it's yes, then fucking do it, right? And you're like, oh, what about the money it costs to invest in this course, invest in this service? 10,000, 20,000. What's your goal? Million? Okay. If you make $1 million, would $20,000 fucking matter? Fuck no. Right? That's just coming from, courses, whatever it is, right? You're investing into yourself in a game. The only reason why I'm here talking to you is because I didn't get lucky. Obviously, there's some luck involved, with the brands I work with. Super blessed, but quite frankly, it's just because of the skill set, the knowledge that I know. And how did I get there? Right? It wasn't through fucking, self-research, obviously some of that as well. But it was through mentors, coaching programs, stuff like that eventually got me there. And the reason why I invested so early in my career, I want to get there fast as I fucking can. I rushed, right? I rushed to get there, right? I want to learn from people who's already fucking been and done that. And I feel as though that is one of the fastest way to get to where you want to go, right? If you want to become an NBA player, getting coaching from LeBron, that's going to get closer to your goal. Is it not? Right? Same thing, right? Whatever it is, any business, anyone, find the person that can actually help you out, right? That can actually help you get closer to your goal and come to a situation where it's like, that's the fastest way you're actually going to hit your goal. Now, honestly, I don't give a fuck of what you actually take from this video. I'm just sort of sharing you my experience. And obviously, if you've watched it this far, hope you got something value out of it, just sharing through all my experiences. And quite frankly, I think that's one of the things, right, that sets successful, even just, okay, I'm using brand owners as an example because I talk to a lot of brand owners every single day. It's just using that as an example, like lots of the successful brand owners that are actually successful, it's not really about the brand. It's not really about the product even. It's not really about the skills, because the skills and knowledge you can always learn. It's just how they move, right? They move with speed, right? That's why I'm saying, right? Acting and doing shit where you feel rushed, where you have to do it ASAP, right? I think it was one of the biggest levers you can pull, right? For whatever you're trying to do, right? Clothing brand aside.